Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host for this evening. We are just so thankful that you decided to learn more about this technology and what it can do for you and for your loved ones. And whoever invited you to the call must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. It's why we do what we do, because we literally are watching it change people's lives day after day, week after week. It's so much fun. Some of us were just talking about that earlier, how thankful we are to get to have this amazing technology to introduce people to. So with that, we're going to start with our medical disclaimer. All of our products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you are pregnant or nursing or have any type of medical conditions, we always recommend that you check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first, just like you would with starting any new diet or nutrition program as well. So with that, we are going to dive into this amazing technology on this tiny little patch and what's in the center there. So this amazing technology is FDA compliant as a general wellness product. It's considered a class 1 medical device. It's also completely non-transdermal. So what that means is there's nothing actually entering your skin from this patch. There are lots of patches out there today, and people are usually used to them putting something into your body, a nicotine patch, an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch. Those all transfer something from the patch into your body. This works completely differently. And I'm going to describe it here a little more later, but it is made out of medical grade plastic. It's completely hypoallergenic. And the technology has a 96% effectiveness rate. What is amazing is that we just won last year the Biotech Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Award with a combination of this patch technology along with our Cellergize morning product. So this gives you 100% effectiveness rate with the technology and your body's ability to increase GHK copper peptide, which then helps to optimize and support stem cell regeneration across the board through the body. It's why we won the award, because that's what these two together do. This is a world-renowned award, worldwide companies competing for this very prestigious award. So it's truly remarkable that our product was again a cut above everything else, which is amazing. It also has to be a novel product. So that means there can't be any competition in the market. So again, there's nothing out there that you can go and purchase that does what our technology does, which is what's, again, truly remarkable about what we have. So that, just know too, with this helps to, most people are imbalanced in magnesium, potassium, and so it helps to balance that out. It also gives you the proper ratio of copper and zinc. Again, this is why this is supportive to this technology as well. And it also has sea buckthorn extract, which is known to optimize stem cells that are already in your body and help those work properly. And so that's really phenomenal too. Whereas this, with GHK copper peptide, when it is up and going, it then supports new growth of stem cells that have not been working for could be multiple years. So it helps get them up and going again, truly resetting your body to a younger, healthier state. So the amazing thing about this technology is once you start wearing it, you are the oldest that you will ever be, because this reverses or resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. And so that's what's truly remarkable is that if you are to go and have blood work done and things like that, especially if you don't have a list of things that are wrong with you, this actually resets that biologic age to a younger, healthier state. So I know people that are 50 that now their blood work shows they're 25. So that's the kind of support that happens across the body when GHK copper peptide is elevated and those regenerative cells get up and working again. They just start to decline as we age, and they basically don't work anymore. It's why we age. So one of the reasons why we age. And so that's what's so remarkable about this, and why this will be the oldest inside that you will have ever be once you start using this technology. So Truly, truly something very cool. This is extremely affordable. The only comparison on the market would be an actual stem cell injection, which is what's crazy as well. Those are thousands and thousands of dollars. They also tell you they have no idea whether they'll work for you or not. This, again, by itself, 96% effectiveness rate. It's patented technology. We have over 200 patents. We have over 90 clinical studies. So you can rest assured that it's very scientifically backed, which is, again, remarkable in the industry to have that many clinical studies as well as patents is truly unheard of in this industry in this way. So there's no product in the world that does what X39 does. So let's get into how this actually is non-transdermal and doesn't transfer anything into your skin. So what happens is, think about the sun. When you step out in the sun hits your skin and your eyes, and it tells your body to make vitamin D. That vitamin D then goes and does what it was meant to do, what God made it do for your body. It goes and is used the way that God designed the body. This is that same thing, only we don't need the sun. Our own bodies become the light and the heat source for this technology. So that it hits the center of the patch, our own infrared light. Okay, so light that we can't see. So the way that you know it's actually there is that when you watch a movie and they're looking through night vision goggles and they're talking about a heat signature and you see all those different colors. Scientifically, that's low-grade infrared light. That infrared light hits the center of this patch, and this patch acts like on the interior, teeny tiny little crystals that are made in a lattice structure that are similar to a mirror because it's reflective. So once it hits that center of that patch, it's reflected back into the body at a very specific wavelength of light that turns on GHK copper peptide. So that's what's truly remarkable as well. When that peptide gets up and gets going, you have all kinds of different benefits across the board. So the way you use this technology is you place it on your body when you get up. You take it off at night before you go to bed. So you wear it for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So that 12 hours off is necessary because it's like you going to the gym. Okay. My son just ran a marathon yesterday, and literally you get to a place to where your body, like you cannot go anymore. So thankfully his body took him across the finish line. But the second he sat down to even get up, or for his legs, his ankles, his feet, his knees, anything to work was just so hard to move through, the inflammation and even the lack of, nutrients that have had to move through the body for his muscles to continue to carry him in that way. So that's what happens with this technology is you are signaling something. So like he was signaling his muscles and his bones to continue to move. So this is signaling a very specific peptide and telling it to get up and work, just like when we work out, telling our muscles to work. So it needs a break from that, because if it doesn't have the break, it's eventually going to give out. I talked to another friend who ran the half marathon yesterday, and he said how he had to stop at one of the nurse stations or medical stations along the way because he just could not, his body was just giving out on him. So, they gave him oranges and some fruit and some, electrolytes and all of that so that he could get, even just start walking again, to be able to then run again to finish the race. So, so you have to give your body that break for that peptide to have a break and rest period before you start signaling again the next morning when you put this back on for an additional 12 hours. So let's talk a little bit about human peptides, the peptides that we have in our body versus injectable peptides. So that peptides are all the rage right now. Most of them are injectable. There are some that are topical. There are some that can be taken, like a vitamin supplement. So all of that is exogenous sources. But we have the reason that peptide therapy is so popular right now and they're touting it is that this is supporting the peptides that are already in your body. And so it has this very unique ability to work with your body. But there's a problem with that they don't really discuss with you, is that anytime you're taking an exogenous source, whatever that might be, injectable or through a supplement of some sort, your body uses it completely different than the actual form of the peptide that it's putting in, okay? So GHK, copper peptide, so you've got glycine, histidine, and lysine, okay? That's the GHK. If you're taking it exogenously, your body what it does, those are amino acids. So those amino acids, your body actually breaks those down and pulls them apart from whatever you've taken, and it uses it however it wants to. Okay. So the reason you took it, you may get some help if you did an injection in your knee or in your elbow or shoulder or something like that. You might get some help in that way, but you also might not, because your body pulls those apart and then uses it. It doesn't actually keep it sourced in the actual peptide that we have in our body. So our human peptide, GHK copper peptide, that is there, that the body has pulled together itself, okay, that has a very specific purpose. And what it does in the body, it actually helps to support over 80 different types of body systems. That's truly remarkable. So a lot of doctors have called it the fountain of youth because of all of the things that it does. It was originally found over 50 years ago, and most of the research was on like hair, skin, and nails. And so that's where, especially that fountain of youth piece comes in, is the support that you get across the board for your hair, skin, and nails, because it elevates collagen. Okay, so that peptide, your own human GHK, it then helps to support collagen across the board. So collagen is not just in our hair, skin, and nails. We actually have 28 different types across our body. So it's literally the glue that holds our bodies together. So it's in the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, the lining of all of our organs. It's why some people that have any type of gut issue, they'll be like, I just don't have those problems anymore. It's because the collagen is being supported along with the regenerative cells. And so they're seeing that help support their stomachs and their intestines and their colons. And so they're having help in those organs, which is truly remarkable. So we've got the collagen support, the regenerative cell support. We've got cardiovascular support. So I'm only going to go over 5. Like I said, there's 80, but these are major systems, just these 5. So your cardiovascular system at the mitochondrial level, all of the ATP, the energy, the powerhouse of the cells, your lining of your blood vessels, all of that is now being supported by GHK, which is what's so amazing. And again, the human form that's already in our bodies that God put there with a very specific design for it to work together. He put it there, and our body's going to use it that way. It's not having to break that apart because God already designed it that way in particular. So your brains. So I was just talking to some people today as well about just the brain and the nerve support that GHK copper peptide gives to your body. So helping with, nerves and regeneration and anxiety and depression, just people feeling better, more vitality, feeling better overall, just feeling like they have a more positive outlook on life. And so those things that can come in sometimes for people when they really just struggle because there's some sort of deficiency or something not working well. And so that kind of support for your brain is truly remarkable as well. So, and then your immune system. So those 5 things are the things that I talk to, people about. Your immune system needs to work well for you to not have a list of issues going on with you. So when your immune system, that's where that's the breakdown, is a breakdown in your immune system being able to combat whatever's going on with you. So for you to have support across those 5 areas is truly remarkable. Like I said, if you Google it, GHK-CU, if you Google that, you're going to get a very long list of things that it does in the body and the way that it supports the body, which is truly remarkable. So, how long do I have to wear this? I get that question all the time. Well, I always tell people that I will have this patch on my body until Jesus comes back to get me. And again, remember how we talked about how when you start utilizing this patch, it is the oldest you will ever be. It's because it's resetting and turning on those regenerative cells and those 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. So when you stop wearing it, that's the natural way that your body goes, is things just start to break down. That's how we're designed in this world. That's what's happening. It doesn't mean it's going to keep us alive forever. It just means that however many days God gives us here on this planet, that we can experience those and live those to the fullest and have health and life. And truly I talk to people all the time who are, when you don't feel good, things things start sliding, things that you care about, but that you can't do anymore. Your health really controls so much of what you can do in life. And so this is just one of those tools in the toolbox that is so extremely easy, affordable, and available to just, be worn on super easy. Pop it on every day and take it off before you go to bed. I've never seen anything. I've been in the health and fitness industry pretty much my whole adult life. And I have never seen something so simple and so inexpensive to make the most impact in someone's life as something like this. It's truly, truly remarkable. So, if really and truly, if you're thinking, okay, I just want to give it a shot. I want to kind of put a time limit on it. I want to see how it's going to do for me. Well, 1 month for every decade you are old is really a good idea. So I'm 50, so I would need to wear it 5 months to really see what it's going to do for me. And I would tell you, if you have a list of any issues, aches, pains, illness, disease, you need to go for 6 to 12 months. 12 months is really much more realistic, because I know somebody who didn't get results until 9 months. They'd been wearing it for 9 months, but they just believed in the science and believed what was there. And if they would have stopped it, they were 50. If they would have stopped at 5 months, they would not have gotten their miracle. So just continue to use it until you get your miracle. My husband, just so you know too, he doesn't notice anything. Like, he doesn't notice anything with this technology at all. But where we do see it show up is in measurable test results. So that's the other thing. Sometimes I'll talk to people and they'll be like, well, I wore it for a year and a half and didn't notice anything. My first question to them is did you have any measurable results? Was there test results? Blood work, inflammation panels, thyroid panels? Were there any types of measurable results that you could see that was actually doing something for you? Because that's just it. If we don't really have many issues or things going on with us, we may not think that this is doing anything for us. But the reality is that it starts working the second you put it on. Within the first 24 hours, those genes start to reset. Everything starts working. This is all in our patents and in our research studies. This is what it shows. It shows it's still working at 7 days, still working at 30 days, still working at a year out. So that's what's amazing, is we have those test results that show that kind of information, even if you don't feel anything. And my thing is too, is that I would hope and wish that people would get started on this before they have an issue, because the whole point is we don't want to have issues. Those slow us down. They cost money. They create stress. We don't want those kinds of things going on. And so it's much better and much easier for your body to have what it needs and get things up and running before you have an issue, when you're trying to dig out of the hole now. Like, when you're down in that hole, it takes a whole lot more parts and pieces to pull together for your body to have what it needs for it to heal itself. But that's what's so cool, is that God did design us for our bodies to heal themselves. And so we just have to be able to open ourselves up to studying the way that God has done things. And that is what I love about our founder and inventor, is that's what he does, is he studies the way that God designed our bodies. And then he invents technology that will then support the divine design that we have been given. And so that just makes me so super excited. We do have a brand new water machine that has just come out. That it sells out within like minutes or hours every time they get a new shipment in. So I'm sure at some point that won't be happening anymore. But if you want to be put on a waiting list, make sure you get back to the person who invited you to the call. Tell them that you want to get put on that waiting list. This machine, once again, just like with our other technology, completely novel. There is nothing else like it. So yes, it's hydrogen infused. Yes, it's structured water. It removes all plastics. So all the plastics that are in our water, all the toxins that are in our water, from heavy metals and chemicals and things like that, all of those things are being tested and removed. What's amazing is that most people are dehydrated. And that's the problem that this machine solves, is that it is infused with 6 different wavelengths of light. And because of that, what happens to the structure of the water is that it changes the bond angle so that it can actually penetrate the cell wall. So every single cell in your body now has the ability to be hydrated. when we are walking around chronically dehydrated, that is what for most people causes most of the pain, most of the inflammation. If they were hydrated, many people would not even have the pain and inflammation that they have. And so for your body to be properly hydrated, everything starts falling in line because now your body has the energy that it needs. So this also increases your metabolism. Okay. So it increases the ATP in the mitochondria in every single cell in your body. Okay. So look up on, look online. What are metabolic disorders? Okay. Look that up. Okay, so if this is correcting and helping support your metabolism, then if this is if you have some type of metabolic issue, I don't know, but just drinking the water that hydrates every single cell, your body can then heal itself. That's what's so cool about our technology is that it is all designed so that the body can do the job that it was designed to do. This technology really isn't doing anything other than the light switch. It's the light switch that just turns on the things that God has already put there, the way that God has already designed us. They are the light switch to allow those things to work, allow God's design, the way He designed us, to be supported and work the way He designed us to, which was for our bodies to heal themselves and to work optimally. That's what He's designed us for. So, anyway, get back to the person, ask more questions about the X2O water machine, get back to them about the technology as well. I would love to answer questions. That's what I'm here for too. So you can pop those in the chat, ask any question you like. You can unmute yourself. I'm happy to answer questions that way too. So yeah, or if anybody wants to share a story, you can come on and do that. So anyone want to ask a question or share? You can also raise your hand too if you'd rather do that. So I do have a story. So the gentleman I was talking about, a friend of mine that ran the half marathon yesterday, he just started wearing the technology and he was using it because of his he's struggling with recovery. He's 33, but just noticing really struggling with the recovery of trying to prepare for this half marathon. And then he's going to go on and do a full marathon. And so he's trying to prepare for all that. Well, he's got some knee pain, and then just recovering from those runs has been really hard. And so even within just less than a week and even running the half, his knee pain, he said, significantly different, and just it was not as sharp, and just like you really needed to stop using your knee. So that allowed him to get through the run yesterday as well, and just feeling like his recovery time has already increased in less than a week. Again, he's 33, so he already has most of his regenerative cells working on his behalf. By the time we're 30, about half of our regenerative cells are no longer working. So he's at that half range, which is why he's like, why am I not recovering the way I used to? Well, because your regenerative cells are just not, you've got half that is not working on your behalf, and you're trying to do something really hard. So so by the time we are 60, we have only about 10% of those regenerative cells that are any longer working for us. And so that's why, again, this technology is so remarkable, is that it gets those up and running again. So yeah, so I was super excited for him. And this is the coolest thing too, is that the whole reason he decided to do all of this is because his daughter has diabetes. And so he wanted to show her that she can do hard things. And so he chose to do something hard, to be able to show her that you can do hard things too. And I'm going to help you through this. And, there's people that come along in our lives, and there's choices that we make and things that we do to help us work through those hard things. And so I just told him, I'm so thankful for him to share that story with me, and so thankful to get to be a part of, his journey, and just being a great dad who really cares about his daughter and wanting to, show her that she can do hard things, and that he's going to help her, and he's going to do something hard that's really hard for him as well, that he really doesn't want to do either. She doesn't want to have to be going through this. But he, so it really is. Yes, it really is so beautiful. And I'm just so thankful to get to be a part of hearing about, his story and his journey, and having something that can help him do something hard to help him, encourage his daughter. So very, very thankful. Anybody else want to share something?
I'd like to share something.
Awesome.
This is kind of funny. We talked about it earlier in another call with you. That same couple that I was patching, the her husband, we patched them with Eon and Ice Wave for pain reduction, and we put an X39 on top of the tan Ice Wave, and he hasn't had pain. He's been having um, leg issues, or I don't want to say it's a S name for the, I don't want to say the name of the medical problem, but it's when the whole leg hurts, right? From the buttocks all the way down to your leg. He's
Mm.
had that issue for years, probably like 5, 6 years. He does not want to take the patches off.
Wow. She's like, I have to be in pain, but you can't keep wearing them or they're going to
He's like,
stop working. Yes, you
he's
got to
like,
give yourself a break.
his wife is like, Ed, I can't get him to take the patches off. I'm chasing him. He's running away from me. He won't, and he's 82 years old, running and
Oh
he
my
won't remove the
goodness.
patches. And I told him, I said, if you don't remove them, the technology doesn't stop working. And so I called her today. He was wearing for 2 days straight. So I
Oh my
called her
goodness.
today. I said, did you get him to remove the patches? She said, yes, finally. I told him that they weren't going to work if he wasn't going to take them off and give the body a chance to recuperate. So that finally works out. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was kind of cute.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad they worked for him so quickly too. That's such a blessing. That's awesome. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you all. Anybody else real quick?
Do you mind, Pastor Ed, saying how you patched him again?
Sure, I did a 1, 2, 3, which is we make it very simple. We put the Eon on the back of the neck, the little bony vertebrae. It's called GB14, and that reduces inflammation and reduces stress. That's number one. Number two, I put the Ice Wave tan, and he said that it wasn't at that moment where we patched him, it wasn't running all the way down his leg, it was just on his buttocks. So I put the tan Ice Wave right in the center of his cheek, and then we did what we call a clock method, and that's about 2 to 3 inches away from the tan one. We did 12 o'clock, and then we waited for 10 seconds, and then we did 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and we did all the way around just to test it. And he said his best felt the best pain relief was on 6 o'clock. So we put the white Ice Wave 2 inches like lower in his butt cheek, right? And so that removed the pain. And he said he still had a little pain left, like a little discomfort. And so I took an X39 and put it on top, sandwiched it right on top of the tan Ice Wave, and that did the trick. It removed the discomfort 100%. And he was running around, and he's the kind of guy that just does everything around. His wife says, get out of the house, go do whatever. And they got a big property in Bel Air, and he just walks around the house, fixing the pool, fixing everything. And he's 82, 83 years old, and he's in great shape now. So he loves using the technology. So hopefully that helps.
That's awesome. So did they just purchase all three of those when they did their starter set?
Yeah, they came in. They didn't want to do the business. They came in as a preferred customer, so I had them
Okay.
order Eon, Icewave, and X39. That's all they wanted.
Hmm.
And get this, I followed up with them a couple of days later to make sure that they got the patches, and they didn't receive them. So I called Lifeway right away. I say, hey, you got to take care of this. Is a great client of ours. We want to take care of them. They send the patches next day delivery for them, and they received them in 2 days, I think. And because the first pack was lost. The
Uh,
FedEx never got there. And so they were wondering, hey, we paid, but we didn't get anything. So by following up, I was able to catch that problem right away. And LifeWave so gratefully sent them a second pack. So she received 2 packs, and LifeWave's not going to take it back. So they're blessed to have, $800 worth of patches for the price of half of it. So
Wow.
they
I
were
praise
really
God.
blessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much for being here tonight. And we just appreciate you spending 30 minutes of your Monday night with us. And come back on Thursday nights. We do this again, only it's all testimonials. So we just talk about what has happened with other people. That's 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Wednesday night, we usually have some, either a health talk or a business talk as well at 8 o'clock, or I guess it's 7 o'clock Central Standard Time as well. But I'll be back here. Well, actually, next Monday, I won't be back here. I am going to wedding venues for one of my children. So I'm super excited about that. So we will be skipping next Monday night, but we will be back the next Monday. Here both Thursdays as well. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We just pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening.
Good night.
night, God bless.
Good night. God
Thank you,
bless
Nikki. God
everybody.
bless you.
Yes.